So you don't really know what Bitcoin is, which leaves you with two options: research and not research. Now, like with most things in life, you should always go for the easiest. And it's not like there's some open, vast, easily accessible database of information available to you at all times. And knowing stuff sucks anyways, so I've compiled a very simple guide to being a Bitcoin hater, which will guarantee you feeling better about willingly not knowing things. Step 1. Don't ever challenge anyone in person. You have at your pale fingertips an entire social network of pseudo-human interaction where you need not ever look anyone in the eye and where you're always right. Start with places like Reddit, YouTube, Facebook, and if you don't have too much to say, Twitter is your friend. Be highly suspicious of anyone who likes Bitcoin of being a millionaire. Then fill yourself with resentment. Be highly offended that there's an abundance of white people really into Bitcoin. Amir Taki doesn't count, he's half white, therefore racist. Safely assume that Bitcoin is a fad, perpetuated by neckbeard hipsters, but not the ones you hang out with. Resort to name-calling. Assert that Bitcoin isn't real. Hashtag Buttcoin, am I right? Remember, you use your cash and Visa every day, which makes you an economist. You've heard terms like fiat and deflationary, which makes you an authority on declaring that Bitcoin is a bad currency. You've invested in real estate and dabbled in the stock market, with little to no gains. So when people make gains on Bitcoin, that's a direct attack on your existence. But don't quit now, or else you'll lose those gains you worked so hard to almost have. Conclude that since Bitcoin is baseless in every way, but still has a robust community, it must be a cult, or some kind of club, or made up of a diversity of people who know things that you don't. Same thing. Point out the fact that Bitcoin will be obsolete when we're all in FEMA camps. Although oil was volatile for some 40 odd years, and things that are shit have been stable like the S&P 500 stock market, claim that Bitcoin is bad due to volatility. Don't worry, it'll hold up, because if you don't know things, no one else does either. Remind us all that Bitcoin is only used to buy drugs. This, of course, is a direct insult to your lifestyle, because you're still meeting that kid in the parking lot of your old school who's making more money than you by selling coke cut with baby laxative. And don't forget about real concerns, like if we all start using Bitcoin and stop using credit cards and our keys become intangible, how will we cut and snort our coke in public bathrooms? Perfect. These ruins can symbolize the current state of our financial system. Demonstrate that you can comfortably subscribe to two contradictory beliefs at once by claiming that Bitcoin isn't backed by anything while continuing to use the dollar. Claim that Bitcoin is a tulip beanie baby Ponzi scheme. And remember, you're never wrong, so you must not be wrong in this case too. Assume that people who like Bitcoin think they're better than you. No, assume that people who own Bitcoin do it to be better than you. Whether it be in good humor or with full conviction, one can never know. Don't forget to voice that Bitcoin is controlled by Zionist, reptilian, shape-shifting overlords. Make sure that everyone is absolutely clear that in the very likely event of a kill switch or soft apocalypse, Bitcoin would be rendered useless, so we might as well stop using it now. In fact, let's go back to trading seeds. Argue that because SHA-256 was developed by the NSA and the internet was invented by DARPA, therefore Bitcoin is evil. Mention Ron Paul, because he's crazy and doesn't exist, just like Bitcoin. Assume things. Argue that everyone who uses Bitcoin is evading taxes, and you're better because you're not. If attacking a male, go with things like, you probably still live with your mom. If female, remind yourself that you haven't had much experience with oscillating curves, and let the sexual frustration fuel angry comments towards her appearance. You'll be surprised at how creative you can get in this state of one-sided sexual tension. Publicly display that you have no idea what gives money its value. Completely dismiss what this technology means for the unbanked 6 billion, and continue to point out white privilege because electricity. Laugh, because it's a virtue that you truly don't give a damn about global innovation. If all else fails, blame internet! Yeah. Don't be a dinosaur, be a honey badger.
Bitcoin will allow us to shape the world without having to ask for permission.
We declare Bitcoin's independence.
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 Bitcoin is sovereignty.
Bitcoin is sovereignty.
Bitcoin is monetary sovereignty.
Bitcoin
is sovereignty.